All right, let's turn our attention now to Saturday's action. And it is, of course, as usual, a big Saturday board. Florida State and Boston College. We've got Florida State 27.5-point favorites here on the road at Chestnut Hill, 55 the total in this game, 54.5 in some spots. I ain't stepping in front of Florida State. I made just a situational look for me with Southern Miss in the first half against Florida State, coming off the big LSU win last week, and Florida State was just too powerful, too good, too fast, too good in the trenches, dominated the trenches on both sides of the football. And that's the only reason why I took Florida State, just because they might be a little sleepy early in that game. Well, they weren't, and they just completely and utterly destroyed Southern Miss 66-13. Like I said, they were up 31-3 at halftime. That game was over at halftime. No letdown. And that's credit to the coaching staff. That's credit to Mike Norvell and the job that he did to get those players focused, to enjoy the LSU win. It was a great win, especially a dominant second half, but get ready for Southern Miss, and they were. And, man, what are you going to say about this team right now? They're just on both sides of the football. There's nothing not to like. Jordan Travis been strong. They've been running the ball with Trey Benson, Holmes and company. They've got incredible receivers. Keon Coleman, again, another huge game for Florida State. It's funny in that game is that, Johnny Wilson was very quiet. They didn't need him and still scored 66 points against Southern Miss. I don't trust Boston College to hang within 4 touchdowns. I will tell you that right now. BC 0-2 against the spread to start the year. A loss as home favorites against Northern Illinois in their first game. Now, I do want to caution you, Holy Cross is a solid FCS team, okay? Boston College was only 10.5-point favorites in that game. Holy Cross is actually a pretty solid FCS team, but still it's not good when you're only beating them by 3 at home, 31-28. So, yeah, issues for sure with Boston College. Jeff Hafley, who I like the hire, and things just haven't been going smoothly here. They made the quarterback change to Thomas Castellanos, the Greek stallion, last week at quarterback for BC. He actually played okay, but the defense struggled. And if the defense struggled with Holy Cross and the likes of Northern Illinois, how are you going to fare against Jordan Travis and company here in this game? The one little bit of concern for me, if I were to have anything here with Florida State, I certainly lean with a double up with the Seminoles first half full game split, is guess what Florida State, Conor, has on deck after this game? Yep, the big game with Clemson on the road after this. That's the only concern. But we didn't see a letdown after the LSU victory for FSU. Why should I buy into them having a look ahead to Clemson here in this game? Mike Norvell, his coaching job got the players refocused, and they were ready for that Southern Miss game. Taking it one game at a time is what they've told us all season so far. Those interviews I heard from Travis and Norvell after the LSU game, we're taking it 1 week at a time. And sometimes that's just BS. That's just coach speak. That's just something players say. And then it's hard for them to get it back and focused and play at a high level against a weaker opponent. But they did that against Southern Miss. And yeah, the Clemson game is after this huge game, but they didn't show me evidence of a letdown last week. I'm not going to buy into evidence of a look ahead to Clemson here in this game at Boston College. And I don't trust Boston College, look ahead or not. I don't trust Boston College personnel-wise, speed-wise, you name it, against Florida State right now. So I'm not saying I'm going to bet the game, but I would only look at a Seminoles first half full game split. What do you think here, Conor?
Yeah, I think you just keep on rolling here with Florida State, or just stay off the game. Like, there's no backing Boston College. You mentioned personnel. They're just not a good football team at all, which was always a pretty good football team over the years, at least solid. They could be really bad. I mean, Northern Illinois and then Holy Cross, these games, oof, both tight. And those are not great football teams. So it's only, Florida State maybe has a small letdown, but they should just dominate the line of scrimmage, especially both on the line, offensive, defensive line. I mean, they had over 500 something yards or more last week. They had 500 just about against LSU. I just wouldn't hop off the train, not right now. Even with the matchup with Clemson on deck, I think they roll.
Yeah, I agree. It's difficult right now to step in front of this team. And by the way, you've got Boston College 92nd in college football, 4.7 yards per play, and Florida State 5th in college football, 7.6 yards per play.
And they haven't seen a defense.
Yeah.
Boston goes, that's against Holy Cross, so that's not, if they played a couple of good teams, I can imagine they're going to fall.
Yeah, not to mention, and I'm concerned about the offense a little bit. Hell, I'm concerned about the defense. I mean, Northern Illinois came in here and put 27 on the board and 30 and 28 on the board from Holy Cross. What the hell is Florida State going to, unless Florida State completely implodes, 4 or 5 turnovers and tons of fumbles. And I don't know how they just don't march up and down the field at will. And then you talk about how BC has had O-line issues the last few years. Good luck against Jared Verse and some of these, NFL-bound pass rushers that you're going to end up facing here on the Florida State side as well. So that's concerning big time here. If you have any thoughts of backing Boston College, which apparently Conor and I do not.